Hi everyone, welcome to Pharmatech Venkat YouTube channel. Today we are going to tell about the analytical method transfer. So on which conditions we have to perform the analytical method transfer. For example, if you want to use any analytical method, the method should be validated. So according to ICH Q2 ESP 1225 chapter, it is saying that analytical method validation, how to perform the analytical method validation and what are the parameters we need to cover in this particular analytical method validation. It is saying that, but when coming to the analytical method transfer activities, there is no any particular guideline is available for ICH guidelines. In USP general chapter 1224, it is the basic outline. So what are the requirement we need to do in the analytical method transfer activities? There is no particular guideline is available, but in 1224 general chapter is describing that during method will perform. So most of the cases validation will happen at R&D, and the particular commercialization of the manufacturing sites, they require method transfer activity. So whenever if you want to do the any method transfer activities, there should be two labs is required. One is transferring lab and second one is receiving lab. So transferring lab will provide the each and every requirement of the particular method. So for example, I want to transfer some X product that is called paracetamol. So in this paracetamol, there is a two type of method, whether is paracetamol is a API or paracetamol is a finished product. So based on the requirement of this, whether if you want to transfer the API method, what are the requirements for this API method? For example, if you want to transfer the finished product method, what are the requirements of this particular paracetamol finished product? So whenever if you want to transfer any transferring activity, first there is a pre-approved protocol is required to perform the activities. In this pre-approved protocol is required to perform. In this pre-approved protocol consisting of the objective. So what is the objective of this protocol? We have to perform the analytical method transfer activity of the particular product with a particular test. What are the tests we need to perform in this? Whether if you want to perform assay test, RS test, dissolution, UV, XRD, so whatever. So based on that, we will prepare a protocol. In this protocol, both the transferring laboratory and the receiving laboratory will mutually understand it and mutually agreed with that particular requirements. So the transferring lab will provide the method of analysis, column, reference standard, sample, and any other requirements of the particular documents. Each and everything they will provide the transferring lab. So in these method transfer activities, there are mainly four types in there. One is comparative method, comparative testing, and second one is co-validation, and third one is revalidation, and fourth one is method transfer waiver. So these four cases we mostly use in AMT. So comparative testing, it is also comes with under, there is another two types of transfer activities is there. One is direct transfer and second one is indirect transfer. In this direct transfer means the transferring unit lab scientist or particular trained persons will come to the receiving lab. They will demonstrate the method. They will demonstrate what are the precautions we need to take during the sample preparation or during this method execution. So they will explain and they will perform the particular analysis. And after that, the receiving lab persons will also perform the same activity. So and after that, they will compare with both the results. Transferring lab person and receiving lab person results we will compare, and if it is within the limit, then method transfer certificate will generate and this method will use directly. And second one is indirect method transfer. So indirect means the particular transferring lab persons, they perform the activity at their site, and receiving laboratory persons, they perform their activity in their site. So both the laboratories perform in their respective sites, and after that they will check the results of both the laboratories, they will compare. If the results are comparable, then it is method transfer is okay. So this is the most commonly and frequently happened method transfer activities: direct method transfer or indirect method transfer. And this co-validation, when we will perform the co-validation, if you want to transfer any method from, if the same method if you have to use with the other sites also, so in those cases the co-validation will happen, because other location sites persons will also come, they will also part of this validation, and they will do the activity, and same thing it will perform the. So in those cases method transfer is not required. Whenever revalidation, when will we perform, already method is in the regular use, but if you want to revalidate the particular method in your particular site, for example already method is validated with R&D, but particular site they want to validate and again, so in those cases, revalidation cases also method transfer is not required, because already we are validating this procedure in this particular site. So method transfer waiver, this is mostly happen with already the same particular method is available in the particular site, last frequently, or already we are using the same method, but if they're changing their API, they're changing their manufacturing process, if they are changing the specification, in those cases whenever there is no impact on the analytical method, in those cases the mutual understanding of the receiving and transferring lab, they will generate the method transfer waiver certificates with the proper justification. Whenever there is a scientific evidence or scientific justification is available, in those cases method transfer waiver certificate will generate, and this certificate will use to, does not require to perform the AMT activity. So coming to the analytical method transfer activities, what kind of test we need to perform in the AMT? Those methods qualitatively or quantitatively impacting the results of the particular product, in those methods we need to perform the AMT. For example, sophisticated tests like HPLC instrument, GC, and then next potentiometry, and then ICP-MS, and then next ICP-OES, ASS, XRD. So these type of methods we need to perform the analytical method transfer activities. The test like solubility, and then next pH, and heavy metals, those ROI, residue on ignition, LOD, those tests are not required to perform the method transfer activity. Why? Because these identification tests or these tests are routinely used in the particular laboratory, so that's why it does not require to perform the AMT. So in those tests also, for example, I would like to explain HPLC. In HPLC there are first one is assay method. If you want to perform the assay method in AMT, we need to perform the analysis with both the transferring lab, TU, transferring unit, and RU with same sample, because if they are using another sample, they are using one batch, and if you are using another batch, it is not comparable with the results. We are unable to compare the results with both the labs. That's why whenever you are performing any analytical method transfer activity, both the labs should use same lot or same batch number sample only. Then only we can consider this method is intended to use that particular laboratory, then only we can compare both the lab results. So if we want to perform the assay method at method transfer activity, first they will perform the analysis with 6 preparations. So I will explain in what kind of parameters we need to perform. One is specificity, first important thing, and IPMP, and third accuracy. These are the basic requirement to perform any method transfer. The specificity means due to mobile phase, due to diluent, due to placebo, so due to any other reagents which are used in this particular method, there should be no interference observed with the analyte peak. The requirement of the specificity. So, and next coming to the instrument precision and method precision. So, instrument precision we will consider with system suitability. Whenever if you are injecting 6 replicate standard injections, the percentage of RSD not more than 2%. So, with the basic system suitability criteria is achieved, then your instrument is precise. You can use this. Instrument precision will comes under with this SST parameter. And method precision. Method precision means the method, if you are using producing the accurate results or not, we precisely producing the same results or not. So that's why we will prepare 6 preparations. 6 preparations. Those 6 preparations result percentage of RSD should not be more than 2.02%. So if RSD of the 6 preparations is RSD not more than 2.2% and the 6 preparations of TU and 6 preparations of RU. So 6 plus 6, 12 preparations RSD should not be more than 2%. Then only this method is okay. If these criteria is not matched with both the laboratories, for example, the RSD 2% you got 2.5%. So then in this case, the method transfer is not completed. In this case, we need to perform the accuracy study. So accuracy study, why we need to perform the accuracy study? Because the method, according to the requirements, the methods both are not meeting the acceptance criteria. In those cases, we will perform the accuracy study. Accuracy means we will spike the 100% concentration in placebo and we will check the recovery. The recovery should be 98 to 102%. Then the method is okay to intended to use this particular laboratory. And next one is RS. So most important and